Out there. Thanks, Jeremy. Welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon, everyone. I'm Laura Papetti. Today is the day that SPS votes on the new proposed downtown stadium. This is a topic that's been discussed now for months, and we want to know why you want to see the new downtown stadium built, or if you would rather see Joe Albi Stadium renovated. Our Brandon T. Jones joining us from the location of the proposed downtown stadium spot to talk about tonight's upcoming vote.
Yeah, today is a big day because Spokane public school leaders will be making a decision on whether or not they will bring a downtown stadium location to this parking lot I'm currently standing in right now. There's two stadium proposals, one here downtown and the other would be replacing and renovating the Joe Albi location. So let's take a closer look. Proponents of the downtown stadium have said the new location would be a more central location. Many say it would be better for students that would struggle getting out to Joe Albi, but more people would use the downtown stadium for possible concerts and even a professional soccer team. 2 weeks ago, the board set parameters that must be met in order to go through with the proposal. Some include SPS retaining all ownership with a priority on usage rights and free parking for district events. At Joe Albi, the stadium is currently too big and it's been around for decades. It would be replaced with a smaller, multi-purpose facility and a new middle school would be built on the lot. This is something Spokane has been talking about for months. Here's what people have had to say at some of the meetings.
Now, if you build the stadium at the Joe Albi site, just like so many have already said, many of the kids, especially the lower income ones, may not be able to go there. Public transportation, like they said, doesn't go out there nearly as often. You're certainly not going to walk or ride your bike out there. But here's the important point. Not every mom or dad can take the time to get off work to get their kids to sports.
Why do the arts always get the shaft? There are lots of good things about this proposal, but everybody is ignoring the Spokane Civic Theater. It's not even on your drawing.
And these are just some of the reactions that we've heard over the past few weeks, but a lot of mixed emotions are currently taking place because of this downtown stadium. Like I said, this would be in the parking lot right here. We've got the podium that's currently being built over to the side. That's still in the works. And then we have the Spokane Civic Theater over to my left, and that's being considered in terms of what they would bring the downtown stadium to this location. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear your reactions. Send us a text message at 509-448-2000. Guys.
Brandon, thank you very much. Taking a live look over Riverfront Park. Beautiful day, lots of blue skies, sunshine, absolutely gorgeous. And Jeremy Legoo is outside. You're the lucky one, Jeremy, because today is about perfect.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. We've got a couple clouds, but you got to look pretty hard to find those. And temperatures are on the warm side. Keep in mind that when we climb up into the 70s, we spend most of our day in the 60s. Mid to upper 60s is basically what you'll wind up feeling if your high temperature is in the 70s. So here we are sitting in the mid 60s right now, and it is sunny. It feels wonderful outside. There is no two ways about it, and that's about where we sit across much of the inland Northwest. A little cooler up in Sandpoint at 61, 64 in Coeur d'Alene, 76 in Moses Lake, and 64 in Wenatchee. It's a gorgeous day. Plenty of sunshine offered across the inland Northwest, so if you can, get outside and enjoy it. We'll hang on to the mix of clouds and sun throughout the day today. That little green swath that went through, this model's way overzealous. A lot of the models are being overzealous right now. I don't think we really see the possibility of seeing any moisture fall out of the sky until we get into late in the day Thursday or early Friday morning. For now, its temperatures on the rise. Later this afternoon, we are comfortably in the 70s. I think we top out around 73 today. Tomorrow, I think, is the warmest day we've seen so far in 2021. And coming up in our full forecast, I'll let you know why that is.
All right, my friend, thank you. Spokane County is staying in phase 3. This comes after much anticipation, discussion, and worry. Governor Jay Inslee decided to pause his reopening plan. We were expecting to move back into phase 2 based on the metrics that we had been given. The governor says this pause to the Healthy Washington reopening plan is because even though we are in the midst of a fourth wave, that wave appears to now be plateauing. So according to his conversation yesterday and his announcement, he does not expect it to get worse. The governor said the wave is less deadly than previously in our past waves, and he says that is thanks to the vaccine. The governor believes the best course of action here is to hold off on any phase changes another 2 weeks and to continue vaccinating people. Leading up to the decision, 14 counties were at risk of moving back to phase 2. So the areas shaded in dark blue were at risk, including Spokane, Stevens, and Grant counties, again staying now in phase 3. Now with the pause, only 4 counties remaining in phase 2. Those counties are Pierce, Cowlitz, Whitman, and Ferry counties. Those counties will remain in phase 2 for at least 2 weeks when they reassess.
Anybody who's frustrated by the changes that we have seen, both in our protocols and during this pandemic, you can do something about that. You can find somebody that hasn't been vaccinated yet, or yourself, and ask them to consider getting vaccinated. That's the solution to our frustration and our anxiety. That's how we get out of this.
Spokane's health officer, Dr. Frank Velasquez, says he is hopeful we can remain in phase 3 after the pause, but says we as a community still have a long way to go. And we did speak with Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward, who was pleased to hear that Spokane County will be able to stay in phase 3, at least for the time being.
Our eligibility had broadened just a little more than 2 weeks ago. That's really not enough time to make the kind of difference that we need to make in the community.
The mayor and other local leaders last week urged Governor Inslee to keep the county in phase 3, stating that she wanted the governor to allow the county time to execute on aggressive vaccination campaign plans. And so, again, hearing from the mayor and other leaders regarding the announcement yesterday. Today is National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. The U.S. Pavilion in Riverfront Park will light up red tonight to honor the day. The Native American Alliance for Policy and Action is also hosting a walk and vigil to honor the victims, and that'll be tonight at 6 o'clock. It does begin at the tribal gathering place and will end at the pavilion. Then there will be a candlelight vigil as well. All right, it is 12:08 right now. There's an ongoing investigation of the mill fire that happened near Grangeville, Idaho. About 8:30 last night, multiple fire departments responded to a fire. This is at the CFI mill. When arriving at the scene, they found the mill fully engulfed in flames. The fire is out now and no injuries have been reported. The Idaho State Fire Marshal says the building, however, is a loss. The mill staff will be setting up a perimeter around the building with some resources and water to contain any hot spots that may present themselves. And Derek Chauvin's defense attorney wants a new trial after a jury convicted him in the death of George Floyd. Now, attorney Eric Nelson asked for a mistrial right after closing arguments. He's requesting a hearing where the jury can be questioned about potential misconduct. Attorney Michael Bryant, who is not involved in the case, says he does not expect the judge to change his mind on issues where he has already ruled. The judge will reflect on things like the speed and the unanimous feeling of the jury.
He'll get a chance to explain what he thought of these questions. They'll also ask him about other answers he gave.
Now, the motion does not single out any specific jury members, but Chauvin's attorney may want to hear from jury member Brandon Mitchell. A picture posted by his uncle shows Mitchell wearing a knee off our necks shirt while he attended a police reform march in D.C. last summer. Mitchell answered no on the jury member questionnaire about whether he had attended marches in Minneapolis or anything related to police brutality. Now, if the judge denies the new trial request, the defense can then go to the Court of Appeals after sentencing, and that is slated coming up for June 25th. All right, Facebook's oversight board upheld the decision to suspend 2 of former President Donald Trump's social media accounts. Facebook and Instagram silenced Trump back on January 7th, the day after the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol, with the parent company Facebook citing his rhetoric for inciting the violence. In a statement, Facebook says it will determine an action that is clear and proportionate, but will continue to block Trump from posting for the time being. Now, just this week, former President Trump launched a new way to get his message out, a blog on his website, which will make it easier for users to post his remarks. All right, it is 12:10 right now. Tonight, a popular restaurant is opening up a brand new location in North Spokane. Our Nicole Hernandez visited them ahead of the big grand opening.